Hey, folks. Life is chaotic. How is everyone tonight?
Good, doing good.
Here.
Uh, I- I'm
Jacob,
doing better than the show's doing, so.
Jacob, you're very, very quiet.
Oh, I am? Okay.
Oh, that's better.
That better?
Yeah, you need to yell more.
Yeah, we'll yell.
All right, so I have a funny story for everybody before we start. My panel has already heard it, but since you are the herd, you must hear the funny herd stories. So I had to milk before I could get on tonight, and for the first time ever, the babies decided they were going to be super uncooperative about every flipping stage of the milking. So first you have to make sure that they've had enough to eat before you milk, so that while things are topping back off, they're all full up. And they were busy playing, because they're at the age now where playing is more fun than eating. So I had to catch them both and pin them in place until they went, oh yeah, food, right. And then while I was trying to feed the girl, the boy kept trying to butt in to get her to play again. And so he's blatting like crazy, which is upsetting Mom because she thinks something's wrong and she's on the milking stand, so she can't turn around and see what's going on. So I finally get them both fed, and I let them go play, and I start milking, and they both immediately try stuffing their heads into, like, between my hand and the udder, going, what you doing? What you doing? Which they have taken absolutely no interest whatsoever, ever before. So, yeah. So I was late. I was very late.
So anyway, that was the plot of Crusade. Everyone have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
That had more plot than Crusade. What are you talking about?
That's fair.
All right. I want to say a quick hello to the chat. Rachel, was Rachel first, or just first in the comments I'm allowed to see? Because I would the goddess is slacking. he's all of second. Hanayama is here. Hanayama, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you've been well. Somebody deleted the conversation and forgot his link.
Well, I mean, you need to clean up some of these things, otherwise you miss all these chats.
I mean, Twitter is quite certain that I'm going to miss chats no matter what. I have to, actively go in and check at least twice a day because I never get notifications at all anymore. And sometimes, Racer, I'm going to use you as an example. Well, no, I can't use you as an example. Jacob, I'm going to use you as an example. If Jacob sends me a message, tonight, and I check tomorrow, I still might not see it. So I have to check again tomorrow night, just in case it took that long to go through. Gayo, channel member, I think you also have... maybe it was just last week? I don't know. Honestly, the last 2 weeks have been so long. I keep thinking that it's way more time has passed than has actually passed.
That's a good thing. For me,
No,
it's
no, it's
for
really
me,
not.
time's going too fast, especially between birthdays.
Yeah, it's thrown off my sense of time horrifically.
It's extending your life.
I mean,
Okay, Lorianne.
Something has to extend my life because life itself isn't going to do it. Speaking of which, I just want to remind everyone that I have pinned the coffee link, which now is actually working. And we are, at least for the moment, still monetized until YouTube changes its mind and decides that, goats are not actual content. I landed another $400 medical bill for something I wasn't even supposed to get charged for. So, yeah. Any help you can give is great. Um, and we may be adding vet medical bills on top of that because as of last night, Doug officially can no longer make it up the stairs.
Yeah, it looks like the corporate takeover of hospitals and medical services is continuing in other states too.
Yeah. It's always fun.
Wow.
Yeah, we basically have one hospital that now owns almost the entire state. And the result is that prices are just like the insurance company keeps calling me and they're like, oh, you could go to this place and it would be cheaper. And I'd be like, that's great, except that they don't exist anymore because they got bought out. So anyway, on to fun things like terrible television shows. I don't want to think about my depressing crapping medical bills.
Mm.
Well, on the bright side, Proctophile in the chat sent a goat trophy. I don't know what that is or how that works, but
A goat trophy?
yeah,
There are goat trophies?
there are now.
I'm so excited.
I mean, for you, isn't it just a trophy though? Isn't, you know what I mean? Kind of.
Hey, goats are a minority too. We deserve our own trophy.
Hmm.
Sorry, was the
Well.
sarcasm not heavy enough on that? Proctophile sent a goat trophy for 1,000 jewels. I keep seeing these jewels things pop up once in a great while. I have no idea what they are or how they work. So, Proctophile, if you can fill me in on my, once again, not with the times info.
Maybe it's imaginary.
I mean, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's like, I'm sure it's like video games when you earn coins or something. But the herd are all the MVPs. That is the great thing about being a goat. There are no single goat achievements. It's a herd achievement. It is a personalized trophy for our girl. I still want to know how this works. And when I can, I'm going to go back and actually, you know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to move things around a little bit so I can actually see, because it's not showing up on the EV Mux.
I'm looking in the regular chat. I don't see anything Jewel-like.
No. I think he spent jewels to do the goat trophy. Oh, and Geo is on 3 months of membership, which is the whole time that I have actually been able to have members. So
Good man.
Awesome.
She's one of the first ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's anybody else. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Jules on YouTube because they're the platform's digital currency designed for viewers to purchase and send animated virtual gifts during eligible live streams. I mean, I'm excited to know I'm eligible. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. I didn't even know about this.
Proctophile says, I have no idea what they are, but YouTube kept telling me I had them and wanted me to spend them on a streamer. So when I saw the GOAT trophy, I knew what I had to do.
No, that's good. That's good.
That's awesome. See, we've all learned something. And DJ Play Nice, welcome.
The nice DJ in all the land.
Hold the fucking phone. Crusade has a plot. Well, I was just gonna say, we have been avoiding for 11 minutes now, having to slog our way through this. Is that a good word?
I guess.
Well, I mean, last night I did more watching, and I mean, it's better than not doing anything, but of course I always have something to do. But we actually sat there and we were kind of like, I think it's something that could have happened. There was just some issues. It just wasn't enough.
This television show could have been an email.
I mean, honestly,
it could have worked if there was a little more effort, a little more writing checking and fixing and stuff, and character development and care. I think it was like, yeah, I think there was a lack of care, maybe, is the big thing.
All right.
So wait a minute. What you just said is this could have been a good show if they'd made it a good show.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it had the elements.
If they'd bothered to do any of the things that actually make a show, it could have been a show.
Yes, exactly.
Well, listen, really quickly, right? Gayo in the chat is asking, "What is Babylon 5?"
Oh,
What?
Okay, hold on. So, Babylon 5.
Are you from France? You have a
He
pointy
might
head, and you're from France.
Babylon 5 is, at least in my opinion, the greatest sci-fi show ever. Period, hands down. Crusade is a spin-off show of Babylon 5.
And it's dog shit.
And it's really, yeah, what Goat said. I mean, can't say it, you know.
It is.
I mean,
it is
it's
goat
not.
shit.
It's not
It is
goat shit.
It is
Because
it is
goat
dog...
shit comes out in nice little round balls.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
This is worse than that.
It is dog shit after my dog has found a pile of rotten eggs that a chicken forgot like 6 months ago.
Jesus, tell us how you really feel. But anyway, I actually don't mind the overall like plot idea of like where things were going. I don't think it's a terrible idea or concept. I think the execution is really what kills this show. Because I don't mind the idea. The Drock Plague, it's hard to care just because A Call to Arms was so bad, but as a concept, you know, the Allies of the Shadows dropping a plague.
Gayo thinks he's going to watch all of Babylon 5 after the stream.
Oh,
I mean, you should. You shouldn't watch Crusade.
I mean,
watch
you'll be
all
awake
of it.
for the next. You'll be awake
remember
for the
back
next 2
then
weeks.
they had like 25 episodes a season or something like that. And
Well,
5
he did say he's
seasons?
young. Yeah, you're looking at like more than 100 episodes.
110,
What?
yeah.
40 minutes apiece ish. Yeah.
But and
Yeah,
yes,
Racer really just did the.
I
In
did.
theory, this was good, but
It is though. Like I don't hate the idea. It's the lack of any characters that I actually want to care about, and the terrible writing that does it in.
I thought
Like,
you had the feels for Max last week.
I mean, Max is definitely the least shitty part of the show, as far as I'm concerned. But what Eraser here is saying, let me translate this, because this is how Crusade does it. You know, we have this complicated idea, and then we're going to dumb it down to like a metaphor that's really stupid. So I'll do this. This is Eraser's perspective. I like the idea of driving to Disney World, but then the car exploded, and that wasn't great.
Pretty much. I like. This is actually going to be a difficult stream because there's not much to talk about. Crusade, and the problem is there's no type of like resolution in season 1 because it's only half a season. It's not like, you know, they were told that it was going to get cut, so they bum rushed, you know, a last minute ending for the show. You watch episode 13 and it just ends.
It does.
Oh yeah, well, they got
the
canceled.
show that we're doing for shows you've never seen this year does the same thing. They basically hit like 9 episodes, and then they were like, "Oh, we're done." Hanayama says, "I like the idea of Disneyland, but then I saw the prices."
Oh,
Amen.
no.
So I think this is a good spot to talk about the damage that the studio added to this whole mess.
Yeah.
Episode, what is it? Episode
9.
7 or 9? Okay. Episode 9 was supposed to be the pilot. It assumes that you've seen Call to Arms. It assumes you understand that Earth has been poisoned by this plague and that within 5 years it's going to wipe out all of humanity on Earth. It assumes you understand there is a chance that this may jump species, so Earth has been quarantined. and it assumes you understand that the Excalibur has been sent out on a crusade. Look, it's in the title. To find a potential cure to this, because the idea is the Drakh had this as a weapon that already existed. Therefore, somebody else must have had contact with it. It assumes you understand all of that going in. And then the studio was like, no, the ratings on Call to Arms weren't very good, so we can't assume people have seen Call to Arms. We need you to summarize the entire 2-hour movie in your television show, plus have a plot for the people who did see Call to Arms. And by the way, we were real big fans of the original Star Trek, so we'd like more punching, please. Which is how we got the plot that we actually, or the pilot that we actually got. However,
episode one, yeah.
However, instead of making the original pilot episode 2, JMS decided in his infinite wisdom to make it episode 9. So in episode 9, you are re-getting so much of the information that you were supposed to get at the beginning of the show 9 episodes ago.
Yeah,
wow.
And it's really weird too, because I had watched the very short making of Crusade, like behind the scenes thing, and JMS said that with Babylon 5, his intention was to make a sci-fi show that was mostly drama with some action, and with Crusade he wanted to do the opposite. Have a sci-fi show that was mainly action with some drama. And when you watch episode 9, which was the intended pilot, you very much see that. You know, Gideon is presented to kind of look cool. There's a good amount of space battles. It presents itself. There's a quicker pace. The dialogue isn't over-explanatory like it is in episode 1. And you kind of see where he was going and what he was trying to do. And I understand that the studio didn't want that to be the pilot. But like Goat said, then you have to make that episode like 2 or 3. Not push it all the way to episode 9, because I won't lie, I think episodes 9 and 10 feel like there's some type of movement, there's some type of momentum building, but then the show just kind of ends.
Yep.
I think if you show, either if you have episode 9 be the pilot, or you have it be within the first 3 episodes, I think people would have actually maybe given it more of a shot, because watching the first 8 episodes is painful. It's slow, and it takes the whole, action with some drama and throws it out the window. There's almost no action. It's boring dialogue, or it's fist fights that look horrible.
Which is bizarre, because their complaint was there isn't enough action, we want more. But their idea of action seemed to be car chases and fistfights. It's like they were stuck in it's like they were stuck in an early 90s action mode instead of what made Babylon 5 good in the first place. Like, they ignored everything, and they were like, what we really wanted to make was like MacGyver or something. Legata says
MacGyver was actually good, though.
Right, but what I'm saying is they wanted to take the things that would normally have been found in a, modern day or set in modern day action show from the early 90s and put it in a late 90s sci-fi show where it just didn't fit.
Yeah.
But I didn't see a lot of action, though. No, there wasn't a lot.
I'm just going by what JMS said, that one of the reasons the show was so bad was that the studio got in the way and told him that they wanted more action and more punching and more car chases. So,
well,
Legata says so.
They did realize they were in space, right?
And yet they got car chases.
Well, at least the ship got some action.
Well, they gave him mystery, kind of.
God damn, Jacob.
So Legata says, is it like Disney, Star Wars, or Disney, Marvel / Star Wars? You have to view all the various TV shows, novels, and comics to understand what the fuck is happening in this movie, TV. I mean, not really. It Call to Arms was supposed to be the connecting between the two. It was basically supposed to be the pilot for Crusade. So I would not say you having to watch the pilot to understand what's going on in the show, I don't think is unreasonable. What I do think is unreasonable is that the pilot is usually about the characters you're going to be seeing,
Right.
not an entirely different set of characters setting up the scenario.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did, was the
Yeah.
pilot episode was about totally different people. So,
Yeah.
DJ Play Nice says, I was too busy doing other things in the early 90s, didn't know Babylon 5 existed at the time. Didn't even have a TV for most of that decade.
Yeah, I started
honestly-
it late.
Honestly, neither did I. I would just go to my grandmother's house and watch it there.
I started it late. It was actually in season 5 when I started, but I saw the episode that I saw first was what was it, From the Peanut Gallery with Bo and Mac, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And so fortunately at that time they had reruns in the afternoon, so I set the VCR to record them, and lo and behold, I got hooked.
I watched what I could visiting relatives, because we did not have a television when I was growing up. And except the one year that the Red Sox were in the playoffs, and then my parents rented one for that week.
I was aware they were going on, but I watched them after.
Yeah, I was going to say, I watched the entire series end to end when I was in college, when they were doing reruns.
Yeah.
I wasn't even alive when it was airing, so
You
Can't
probably
help
weren't
it.
alive when I was in college, so.
probably not.
Yeah, you sound youthful.
Something
Me
like
or
that.
Eraser?
Both actually. Yes.
Good answer.
Good. I was going to say, good save.
Well, I also think one of the things we should bring up though is that besides the pilot not being where JMS wanted, apparently other episodes were put out of order, according to him at least. So I think that
Yeah.
kind of messes with kind of the flow of the season and the overall plot, because I think JMS was trying to kind of get the best of both worlds, where you could have your adventurous episodic episodes, but you could still have everything tying back to the Drock plague or tying back to that incident, so that you could have your episodic weekly thing, but still have a really good arc. Well, not a really good arc in this case, but on paper what might have been a good arc. But I think the episodes being out of order really screws with that, because there's certain episodes, and I talked about it last week, but for example, you'll watch episode 3 and characters that haven't interacted at all or not really within the first 2 episodes then suddenly are like going out to like help each other out, or save each other from issues. And I don't know, man. I feel like there really isn't a plot. It's just
well, the thing is, the Lockley episodes shouldn't have been so close together. I think they were back to back. Like, you get a hint at a burgeoning love affair here, or almost like it could start to happen, and then the next episode they're showering together. It's like, that was a little quick.
Was fast, yeah.
Well, you got to have the Charlie's Angels scene,
Well, I don't have a problem with it. It's just space them apart a bit. Give the viewer a little bit of something, they just shouldn't have been back to back. Payoff and reward should have some space.
The Galen episodes are the same way.
Set up and payoff.
Like, he makes a comment about, I'm leaving for a while, but then he's still there the next episode. And
then he leaves after.
Then he leaves the episode after that, and he never comes back.
Yeah.
until episode 9, and it's, I don't know, Deus Ex Galen.
But here's my answer to that. So first of all, JMS has a history of people were out to get me for pretty much everything that doesn't do well. And my reason for really doubting that is, what order would you put these in that would make sense? Other than not putting the Galen episodes so close together and not putting the Lockley episodes close together. Like, there is no definitive, oh yeah, this definitely should have come after this.
Well, yeah, the Galen and Lockley
and the
things
uniforms,
are the main example.
and the uniforms
create a huge, that creates a huge issue, because then if you do try to, jumble up the episode order, they'll be wearing one uniform in one episode, a different one in the next. It's a whole mess.
But they did.
They
did. There are episodes where they're like wearing black uniforms and then gray uniforms and then black uniforms again.
Earth has like basically a ticking time bomb of 5 years, and then Earth decides, all right, what we really need to send up to you guys is an interior decorator.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that
what
shit
the
killed
hell?
me.
Well, marketing. You have to look good.
Advertising.
Yeah, but you didn't see any press or anything around it. Just they didn't sell the concept really.
Yeah, I don't know. They just wanted to do another
or like what they had
INS type episode, I guess. And I always hated those. Are the episodes on Babylon 5 I didn't like.
But without INS or anything like it. I mean, even in like what it was, Enterprise, I remember they had something where they were communicating with a classroom back on Earth and everything about what they're doing. And it's like, okay, if you set up anything like that where they're actually being seen by people on Earth, then maybe you have a point to do that. Otherwise, it's like, who is this guy that wants to decorate?
Yeah. And where's the nearest airlock?
And poor Nehruun, the Ministry of Peace Nehruun guy. It's like, poor him, man. It's like, why is he with him? Oh, well.
So this was actually a serious question, though.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody else has, a phone or dual screens or something, bring up a list of the episodes. And if you assume that that Racing the Night, episode 9, is the first episode, what would you make the second episode?
Not counting the one that was the first episode. So we're saying take out episode 1 and use the pilot.
Like, pretend Warzone didn't happen, because apparently JMS didn't want it to happen. Mm-hmm. So if episode 9, Racing the Night, is the original first episode, and we leave it as the first episode, the Excalibur visits dead and deserted world that was once home to a race that was wiped out by the same plague that affected Earth. Yet the cities and buildings appear untouched by the passage of time. The mystery deepens when one of the survey team meets a grisly end. Now, if Racing the Night is the first episode, then we never get an introduction to Max at all.
That's true. And
so that was supposed to be the pilot, and yet there's no intro to one of the main characters.
We also don't get I guess we don't get the change of status of Galen either. Because that was episode 1, and episode 1 where he was like asking these questions of Gideon, which are kind of like in the theme. So that's kind of.
I mean, honestly, that was so forced. I could do without that anyway.
Well, I'm not saying it's valuable. I'm just talking about continuity.
But it doesn't tell us how he ends up deciding to work with Gideon. Like,
well, he just decided.
supposedly, Racing the Night is the first episode. Yet there is absolutely no, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? There's nothing that connects it. There's nothing about it that looks like a pilot at all.
No.
There's no introduction to one of the main characters. There's no introduction to why Galen is there. I mean, it's one of the better episodes, but there's nothing about it that says I'm starting a show with this, even if you assume everybody's seen the pilot.
And the fist fight was right away with no real reason. It's like, here, you asked for it, you got it.
Well, except supposedly they got rid of Racing the Night as the pilot because they wanted more fistfights.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, no. That's what I meant.
Nothing about this
Warzone.
being the first episode makes sense.
No, Warzone. It did have that fist fight right up front, but I don't know, and it's hard to tell what it was about either. But the point is, I guess, yeah. All right, if we take out Warzone, we put what became Episode 9, the original pilot, in one. The Long Road. First of all, does it work? Well, you said that Max doesn't really have a story; he just appears. Then, if we take that out. Yeah, I guess I mean, here's the thing, but maybe they made episode 2 after the request for there to be Warzone as episode 1 was already made, so they didn't have to make continuity from the original pilot because they already had to make another episode 1. So I guess it was all thrown out of whack right from the beginning.
Okay, so apparently the Sci-Fi Channel contacted JMS and asked which order he would prefer the episodes be broadcast. And then there was a third order that he formally endorsed as the true chronological sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to fix everything.
Okay, so the original broadcast Warzone was first. The Sci-Fi Channel Racing the Night was first. But his official chronological order, Warzone, is first again.
Yeah,
so in his official true sequence of events, Warzone is back to being first.
Yeah, but it may have had to be that way because it all depends on, I don't know if you have this at your fingertips, but when was it decided by the studio that they had to make Warzone? Did they already start on the other episodes, or was just they only had a pilot? They said, no, don't do that. Make another one. So then they started going 1, 2, 3.
Now, what's really funny is the Sci-Fi broadcast order has Warzone as 12. So you're introducing all of your characters on the second to last episode.
Max is on another planet and stuff, man.
Yeah, and they're busy saying, "Oh, we don't have an archaeologist or a linguist."
No one thought about that.
All right, so number 2 on both the official chronological order and the original broadcast order is The Long Road.
Mm-hmm.
Which is which one?
Yeah,
I can't even find it.
I'm seeing it right here. Gideon mediates between Earth miners and the residents of a planet. Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
It's the one with the other techno mage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. I'm accidentally on the on the unfilmed episodes.
Except for maybe a couple conversations here and there, that almost seemed like that could have been later. It didn't really matter.
That really felt like a Monster of the Week episode.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of these felt like Monster of the Week episodes.
Pretty much, yeah.
The Sci-Fi broadcast order number 2 was The Needs of Earth, which is the one where he violates interstellar law and aids a wanted fugitive. Except that that's another one where it's like, it's kind of Monster of the Week, and I don't know, that one was really weird. The Rangers are like, yeah, so our job is to go to keep the law and keep the peace, and as a side job to help Earth. But now we're going to tell you how to break the law because I've decided that my side gig is more important than my regular.
It was never a side gig.
Rachel, miners, miners, except that they're Earth miners, and I mean, there is one minor native, I guess.
Well, I mean, if they did the pilot first, the original pilot was first, and there was no Warzone, yeah, you wouldn't have a backstory for Max, really, or a lot of the crew, I don't know, maybe the pilot just never really served as a good pilot. The studio might have been right.
I mean, out of 13 episodes, how many of them are Monster of the Week episodes?
Probably about half.
You think
Yeah.
half?
Well,
So
if Galen's a monster, the Wall of Forever, yeah.
The War Zone has a kind of an underlying, ongoing thing. The Long Road feels like Monster of the Week. The Well of Forever feels like Monster of the Week.
Oh, Wall. Yeah, well.
Path of Sorrows. Yeah, the Monster of the Week and the Well of Forever, I think, is busy humping the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a deserted world, the Path of Sorrows is a Monster of the Week. I mean, we get backstory, but none of it's backstory that ever matters. Hey, Rick, welcome. Oh, except the box. We do see the Apocalypse box. All right, I'm willing to give Path of Sorrows as only like semi-Monster of the Week.
Well, that's the one with the empathy alien, right? Or like the forgiveness alien. Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's Monster of the Week. That's more just a convenient way to get a bunch of your characters' backstories out of the way in one episode.
Yeah, it's a flashback episode.
Yeah. And I really don't care for Galen's backstory. Well, we all agreed it could have been better. Matheson's was okay.
I miss my girlfriend.
Well, I don't know if I'm sorry. I guess it's a free for all. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Ruling from no, I'm not complaining. I'm just complaining about myself. Really, ruling from the tomb is not something that had a necessary order, but I think since it actually did center around, well, it wasn't really the plot, but the whole staging for the episode was that we're going to have a meeting to try and figure this problem out. We're going to have a conference. It's like that should have been earlier because you'd think that would be one of the first things they would do. And plus it has Lockley in it, so it gives you a little bit of known character support early on, which helps. I think it probably could have been a great episode too.
I mean, I guess, but honestly, the idea that you would say, hey, go find a cure. Oops, I know you've only been gone a month, but turn around and come back because we need to have a meet. Actually, that sounds exactly like something bureaucrats would do. Never mind. I withdraw my comment.
Well, and at the same time, it's one of those things like, yeah, the mission is to find a cure, but you think it would be logical up front, not necessarily just for them, but in general, that they would have some sort of conference about it. Let's get our best minds together and see what happens. Of course,
Yeah, that conference could have been an email too.
I know, but we got Lockley. We at least got a known character, so earlier on, that's good support.
I mean, if you're going to have it, I don't disagree. It should have been earlier.
Yeah.
I just think that logically, like, this is, I mean, if you assume, normally I assume there's actually a week in between episodes, but let's say there's a month in between each episode.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what number is that?
Yeah, that was 6.
6. Okay, so
and then 7 is a shower scene right after that.
Okay, so they've been on the road for 6 months. They have 5 years to get this figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And they have them turn around and come all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like travel is instantaneous in this world.
Right.
It's not like they don't have a spore drive. I mean,
well, that's why it could have been worked in as like an episode 2. It's like, okay, you're on your way out. Before you go too far out, let's stop at Babylon 5.
Okay, I mean, that seems quite reasonable. We're getting ourselves, if it had been put as a we're getting ourselves together and we're like making sure we're all on the same page, as opposed to the way it's phrased is this is an update on the progress we've made, and the answer is none.
And that's why the rules of the game later, as still keeping it like at episode 7-ish or 6-ish, you get space for him to have some space from Lockley before they get reunited, so you get a little more build there. And there's a reason the Navy come back. Okay, you've been searching a while. Guess what? Back on Babylon 5, the Mercury space may have something that you need to look at, so we need you to come back for that. Because this was all about the Mercury space and the Puritans that kind of like were in their space that would actually not at first let you land, but then decided, okay, you can because our religious zealots were rude to you and tried to kill you.
And because we've realized that, you're so impure that you're a good testing marker.
Although I don't know what their impurities are. They didn't mention that. It's just that you're impure.
You are the reason our people were corrupted enough to steal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well.
Just being around you was too much temptation.
JMS really had a thing with that. Like episode 2 with Sinclair and the purity warrior that was made by another planet. And then, you had the family with the kid. And he really had a thing against people with their beliefs. The Markhab. They thought they were impure if they had a virus.
Yeah, I think that the one with the kid, I think, is one of the weaker episodes.
Oh no, it's
because
hard.
you have Franklin spend the whole time. I know we're getting off topic here, but you spend the whole time with Franklin saying, "Hey, we have to respect their beliefs. Like we're not going to get them to agree to this surgery unless we meet them where they're at." And then at the very last minute, he goes completely bullshit and takes exactly the opposite stance and does the surgery without their permission.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the female doctor had done that, it would have made sense. But they just, they lop at eggs. Good callback.
Well, in any case, I think the order could have been made better, but you still. I mean, you still have some problems here.
I think,
but nothing was really made that it could be moved around so easily, except for a conversation here and there. Might throw it off. But yeah, actually, I meant that opposite. You could move these around pretty easily, except for maybe a conversation here and there. But I think it would be better if they had the one we mentioned as episode 2 or 3, and then.
Well, I'm just saying that his argument is the show didn't do well because they moved episodes, and my argument is
it didn't
matter.
No.
There are like a couple of episodes that it makes a difference where they are. And otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't matter. Flow, no matter how you put the episodes.
Yeah, and trying to rearrange them in any order is just I feel like it's gonna create its own can of worms.
It might have been an off-the-cuff excuse, that's all.
I mean, I do think that episode, like for example, wherever you put episode 9, the original pilot, I feel like what was aired as episode 4 should always air after that episode.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So, episode 9, the original pilot, wherever you have that in your whatever order makes you feel happy with the season, the episode that was aired as episode 4 should always happen a couple episodes after episode 9 is aired.
The Path of Sorrows.
Yeah, because the way it's set up in the show is you get the backstory episode, you're introduced to Gideon's box, and then it does nothing for like 5 episodes and then reappears in episode 9. I would much rather have it so that you see Gideon take it out for the first time in episode 9, and then a couple episodes later he encounters the forgiveness alien, and then we learn how he gets the box. I feel like that.
Yeah, because the box really didn't. Yeah, that's a good point, because the box, we never see the box before the forgiveness episode, and I was left going,
Yeah.
what is this thing? Like,
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And then
that should
for
have been
5 episodes, it's
if
useless until it shows up again. I'd rather it
if
be
it's
introduced.
part of his decision-making process. Shouldn't that be like just about every episode?
Yeah.
I mean, there's an episode where Galen asks Gideon, this planet wasn't on any of the ones that were suggested to us. How did you come about it? And he said, oh, I have my own sources.
Yeah.
What's
That
in the box?
should have been the first reference we get to the Apocalypse box. What I was trying to figure out, though, is there an actual order where dialogue makes sense, like where Gideon says, I'm leaving for a while, and then is actually gone for a while, where the uniforms line up? Like, I am not sure that there is an order that can be made.
There isn't. You're asking for way too much.
Right, which means that the idea that the company screwed him by saying that you have to do it in this order is bullshit, because there is no order where everything lines up properly.
Well, they might have been asking him to change the order multiple times or something like that, and so everything got screwed up because all the things they wanted to accomplish then got screwed up so much that they're in the process of making these, and then they all of a sudden put in something they wanted to put in, and it's just the wrong time, no matter what.
He says he had the pilot all made and everything else, and then he did a showing to the powers that be, and they came back and said, no, we need a new pilot.
And that was it. Like, there was no interference afterwards.
I'm sure there was, but I'm talking about the actual, like, the supposedly the episodes were all like done and in order before they started.
No, that doesn't work.
The other thing is that they apparently forget that there is an official start map for where everyone is located for Babylon 5.
Yeah.
So if you start at Mars, which is where they start, and then you go to Babylon 5, which on the map, I know it's space, but I'm just going on the map, it would be like northeast. That's Babylon 5. And then Brakiri space is... Brakiri space is back northwest, next to the Narn regime. So you're basically zigzagging all the way around space either way. I don't think we ever know where a lot of these planets that they're exploring are, but I really think that it also runs into the rings of power thing, where like time and distance kind of cease to have meaning, and sometimes things take a really long time to get places, and other times you're just there instantaneously.
Yep.
Turner Networks is very famous for fucking with the order of shows they purchase. I have no doubt. I'm just saying that I don't think it mattered all that much, because I think JMS's shows didn't... I think they were pretty fucked to start with.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I think studio interference plays a part in it, but it's not like the sole reason that the show is bad. The characters suck. The episodes aren't really
covered
written.
That already.
The episodes are not written well. It's more than just studio interference to me. Like, this is just lazy writing. The Joan of Arc episode had me laughing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think
the
that
alien,
was...
the Alien X-Files episode was ridiculous.
I can't even watch that. I've watched it once. Even for this, I had to skip it. It irritates me so badly, I could not watch it again.
Like, honestly, like I said, studio interference may have played some part in it, but I think JMS was just burnt out after Babylon 5. You know, like we were saying earlier, Babylon 5 has 110 episodes, and JMS wrote 90, I believe 92 of them himself,
Mm.
which is like a record. I don't think anyone's written that much for one show at once, like before, or,
My understanding
since.
is he wrote the entire outline before he even presented it. And I think he wrote most of the first season before they ever started filming. So it's not.
Yeah.
And
But
he didn't direct hardly anything.
no. I think he only directed like an episode or two. But like I said, man, I think 92 episodes is a lot, man. And if I think it just took a toll on him. I think he was just creatively wiped out after Babylon 5, and I think that this is what we get because of it.
Except then he made the animated movie, and he made that how many years after?
Mm.
Yeah, that's
And it
true.
was
That movie is
still
terrible.
fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I wanted to like that movie so much,
I
man.
know.
Like,
I was
I
so
went into it,
excited.
dude. And I was in like a really I just want to enjoy this. I'm not even looking at it critically, and then you get like, you know, oh my, I'm not even gonna get into it.
Yeah, I was so excited. I never buy anything new. I'm too cheap. And I had that like pre-ordered, and I was so crushed when I watched it. But as far as like individual plots, even in individual episodes, struggle. It's not even that the overarching plot struggles.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what would we say is the best standalone episode?
Oh God.
I know it's a struggle, isn't it?
I I think I forget the name of it. I think it's 7 or 8. The one where I was really emotionally invested in Max's cat, and the cat being
Oh
alive.
yeah.
You
That
know what?
was
That's probably up there with one of like
Well,
top
Max is the most
3.
interesting character, so that
Yeah,
certainly helps.
yeah, I was invested in that. Well, and the wife. I mean, it seemed like, oh,
Once
that's a
again, it's a
shame.
Monster of the Week episode,
Yeah,
and once again, I'm
but that
torn
was,
on that
I think
because
that was a showering episode too with the Bukuri, which that kind of ruined it almost. So I guess
the
it
B
wasn't
plot
the
was terrible,
Mercury.
the A plot was great.
It was the Timu Mercury. It's like people in their space that weren't Mercury, but the Puritans, and they hunted Lockley and Gideon with the red dot on their hand and stuff. That A plot, that was the A plot that I could have done without, but the B plot was more interesting.
Oh, see, I really thought Max was the A plot.
Oh, really? Well,
I
maybe
mean,
it was.
I could have fast forwarded through the whole Gideon and Lockley thing.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know.
No, if you look at the description, like Max isn't even mentioned.
Oh, okay.
It's episode 7, Rules of the Game.
But yeah, that's probably one of the better episodes. Episode 4, I'd say, is one of the better ones too. I just don't like its placement in the series.
See, I don't like that one because I really think that flashback episodes are just lazy.
Oh, I think so too, but I feel like it's a cheap way to get a lot of information across.
Hmm.
But I still think it was one of the more enjoyable ones to watch. Like, at least we were getting information.
Well, but like do like you did with Max. Give everyone their own individual B plot. I mean, for instance, that terrible telepath episode. What if the thing that he's worried about the guy finding is that he betrayed the Psychor?
Mm.
How is that guy not found out he betrayed the Psychor? If he's never told anybody, but they've been in his head all the time. You know, if his B plot had instead been, yeah, we're talking about, you know, we're going to spend half the episode talking about this in-depth, you know, betrayal that he did and how he overcame it and still has his position. That would have been far more interesting on multiple fronts. If, you know, Gideon had an entire B plot with, like, how he got the box. And instead we get these 5-minute snippets that result in Galen going from, you know, perfectly neutral to, you know, hysterically, hey DJ, have a good night.
Oh, and you know, like, don't get me wrong, I agree with you. I just think, like, when watching the season for the first time, you know, episode 4, like I said, it's a cheap way to just throw everyone's backstory at the wall.
Well,
But
yeah, but that's what I'm
at
saying. It's
least
cheap and lazy.
no, it is. But like, at least in the order that we have them in, it was the first episode where I was like, at least I know something about these characters and I almost care. Like, it was, I don't know, it was the first episode where I was like, there's a little glimmer of something here. I agree that it should have been spread out, like you said, but, you know, just watching it for
See,
what it
I
was.
spent 3 episodes going, well, at least Galen's interesting, and then the 4th episode I was like, oh no, he's just a whiny crybaby. Now he's even, now none of them interest me.
I mean, that's fair, but like you said last week, even if we had his backstory the way it was with his whole, you know, my girl died, if they would have just framed it differently and had it been that he was out of his mind after that, that would have worked. I wouldn't have really had any issue with the sappy, like, you know, melodramatic, you know, I lost my love, if they had just framed it in a different light. Instead of saying, oh, you know, he got kicked out of the order for helping humans, have him be unstable.
I mean, imagine if that had been the B plot of, instead of this whole does God exist thing, if the B plot of Well of Forever had been us slowly learning about her loss.
Oh, I agree. That would have been way better.
And it would have explained why Gideon is just like, okay, you took over my ship and you totally betrayed me, but okay, you didn't actually tell me why, but all right. I don't have any choice. Like, at least then Gideon would have had an answer that, you know, might have led him to, you know, go, oh, you're insane, but I don't have any choice.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been far more interesting. Or give us, like, what is Galen's goal? Maybe his goal is, like, he screwed up somehow and that's why she died. And his goal is to redeem himself.
Well, I guess we almost got it fixed.
I mean, this is what makes characters engaging, is their goals. Jakar is engaging from the very first because all he cares about is his people's safety and freedom.
And
freedom, not necessarily in that order. Londo becomes engaging because he starts out with a goal of getting drunk as frequently as possible. And it turns into a goal of...
And his card tricks.
Yeah. It turns into a goal of regaining the lost honor of his people. Gideon has a goal, kind of, to sort of, you know, when he thinks about it, find a cure for the Drakh plague.
I mean, that's kind of bullshit, though, because let's be real. Gideon's only goal throughout this season is to actually get laid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He, like, when he thinks about it, his goal is to... That's the other thing, is that looking at these episodes, how many of them are actually about finding a cure for the Drakh plague, and how many of them are like, oh, I'm running side errands. But, like, what are the other goals? We have one, oh, I'm the last of my people and I need to get revenge. Except we've already determined that that doesn't really make any sense. Max doesn't really have any goals that really have any substance to them. Galen doesn't have any goals that have any substance to them. The doctor is just here because they won't let her go back and die with her sister. Like, none of them have they have no reason. They have no passion. They have they have nothing that makes me want to care about them. And that's why the plot meanders so much, because no one is ever aiming for a goal.
Well, do you think Gideon, especially because he's our main character, would have been better if his goal was basically to prove himself? Because in the pilot, he goes to the meeting and they're talking about how, you're the man for the job and this and that. But then we kind of find out that he's not really that great or competent at all.
Really,
wouldn't
you're just expendable.
No, but my point is, wouldn't it have been better if they had framed it in a way where it's like, listen, like, the best people for the job are stuck on Earth. Like, it's like, you're not the best man for the job.
Yeah.
You're just who we have who wasn't on Earth when the plague was released.
Right.
And put him in this underdog situation where he would then have to prove himself.
All of them.
I think that would have been way better, but, they start off with, you're the man for the job, and then we watch him be kind of useless.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if it works as... I mean, the only thing that... I mean, it's a good idea, but I think one thing that holds that back is in A Call to Arms, didn't they arrive at Earth and with this whole thing about the Drakh planet killer coming, and Earth had like pretty much most of its ships there in orbit?
Well, a lot of them did get blown up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Okay.
Ramming speed, never forget.
The other, I mean, the other thing that makes the other thing that makes Eraser's idea good is that they so wanted, very blatantly, they wanted Gideon to basically be Sinclair all over again. And Sinclair is repeatedly told, we didn't really want to make you commander, but the Minbari made us.
But if they had Zathras, he would have said, you, not the one.
But that's another thing that's missing. One of the places in season 1 that they should have gone to is, where are you going to go? Epsilon 3.
Yeah, good point. Like, why are we sending a ship to wander around space when we could just go to the giant computer and be like, hey, could you help us out here? That's a really good point. I can't believe I've never thought of that before.
Even if they come up with an excuse like Drawl is sick or something like that, that they can't get the answers, but it's one of the places you're going to go.
Well, you can't even come up with Drawl is sick because he specifies in Babylon 5 that the machine will keep him healthy and extend his life for thousands of years.
Drawl has turned to the dark side of the Force.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. Like, and it's such a huge part of the series. That whole planet. I mean, it's how they find, out what happens with the president and everything.
Well, have you fixed your boom arm spring yet? I'm not sure.
Sorry, that was me.
No problem.
This is gonna bug me now.
Oh no!
It's like I cannot like, even if I headcanon the heck out of this, I cannot think of anything. I mean, even if Drawl isn't available, there's always a Zathras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been times where they're like,
do you think...
Drawl's not available, but Zathras can help.
Zathras.
Well, do you think the reason why they never go there is more of a studio issue where it was like, hey, we don't want a lot of tie-ins to the show, because we don't want people
Okay.
who haven't
And
seen it
yet
to
we've
get
got
it.
him
Then
banging the
Babylon
captain.
5. I mean,
But you
No,
got to
I
give an
know.
excuse for why they didn't go there.
No, I know. There's
Yeah.
realistically no reason why that shouldn't have been their first stop.
I mean, the only studio reason would be, well, now the show's over.
I don't. Yeah,
Well,
just
yeah.
It literally would be one episode, just
well,
done.
the impressive parts of it weren't really a set, except for maybe, the Great Machines person holder. That was kind of nice, but I don't see how they couldn't have done it other than maybe not wanting to do the CGI for the outer portion of it, the exterior.
I think it, because I mean they're on Babylon 5. They're there.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't
Literally the
know.
only this is the ultimate like plot hole. You could
Well,
drive a space station through this.
yeah, well, I guess that's why they didn't do it, because they're like, I don't know, we can't find out a good excuse not to go here, at least to try. And I guess I felt, well, it'll be too hard to try because they can't get the answers there because they have a whole series to do. So they
Man,
have
I
to go
thought I
there and
couldn't
fail
dislike
somehow.
this show anymore, but you have helped me along.
No, I thought about it last night. I'm like,
And they could have explored all those planets
Well, that's the thing.
through
They could have.
the planet. They wouldn't have had
Well,
to go to all those places.
They could have done an Ivanova flyby. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, even if you want to say it would have been an easy fix. They could have said, we don't have specific information, but the Great Machine knows that, like, there's this planet where something happened and everything's still intact. Like, other than this very vague, oh, the Rangers kind of told us.
Yeah.
It would have been really easy just to say the machine at Epsilon, because the machine suggests a couple of places to find great old ones, and some of them pan out and some of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
So the machine could also be suggesting worlds, and that at least would say, okay, yeah, we had this resource and we used it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to give you the answers. Just try here, try there.
And why does it have to be one specific ship? One specific ship. You have the Rangers. I mean, they could cover a lot more territory than just one ship.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a science ship. It's supposed to, like, have the technology on board to actually test samples and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is, so first of all, it was supposed to be a deep space explorer. So it was supposed to be able to go further without refueling and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But then they wanted all these tie-ins with the other show. So they never actually took it into... They were supposed to go into unknown space. They were supposed to go off the current Babylon 5 map we have.
Yeah.
And then they never did that. I mean, one of the things they say right at the beginning is we're going to have to, like, go into uncharted space, which they don't do.
Yeah, and I think at most they say that the Rangers are basically like scouting potential planets and then relaying the message to the Excalibur to go check it out, but that's, I think, the most that they're doing.
And it's kind of a side gig. Yeah, so they have one ship, which makes no sense. It would make sense if it was the only ship they had that can go into deep space and everyone else was going to work more locally. But then you wouldn't get the Babylon 5 tie-ins.
Right.
Yeah, they set themselves a really difficult
Hello,
task.
Roman!
They gave themselves a difficult task to begin with that
Crusade is the
selection.
last Jedi of Babylon 5.
No.
I mean, maybe.
Well, no, I mean it got canceled and then it ended.
I mean, you could
So
kind of make comparisons in, well, we started to go the one way with the show, and then we just turned around 180 degrees and went a totally different direction with the show for no apparent reason.
yeah,
So,
that's the thing. Yeah,
I mean, that's a valid comparison.
the Babylon 5 tie-ins should have been early on before they get out there, and then they're out there, and you got to make it a new show and on your own. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I mean, the problem is, like, even if it somehow magically turns around for the second half of the season, your first half is still horrible. Like, it's not like, some people try to say, like, oh, if it had enough time, maybe something could have happened, but you still need to make sure that the here and now is well made and enjoyable for me to care about a payoff later. Like, no one watched season 1 of Babylon 5 going, I'm going to watch this because I heard there's great payoffs in season 3 and 4. You watched it because it was good. And then the payoffs later made it even better. This is just like the promise of something that might sort of kind of happen later.
And while you had character goals, it wasn't like a real defined quest as a show goal. You had character goals, which is to try and maintain peace, these disparate planets, and the ambassadors had their own agendas, and you got to learn those and all that, and you were still fine with it. You didn't need to know exactly where it's going. And then we got the shadow theme starting to creep in. It was building slowly. It wasn't so obvious. Here's the goal of the whole show right here. Get this cure. And it's like,
But I mean, we know Sinclair's goal by what? By the end of I'm trying to think. Because he has a couple of goals, but his primary one becomes what happened at the Battle of the Line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And looking for a purpose.
We know what he's looking for purpose, and he wants to know what happened at the Battle of the Line. And we know those goals, and we know that he's motivated by those goals very early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his actions make sense based on those goals. Garibaldi kind of meanders a little bit as to what his goal is, but like we know, not drinking, supporting his friends,
Holding
loyalty matters to him more than even his own security job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know those things very quickly. And his actions make sense based on those things. And it just, I don't know what Galen's goal is. He's a mystery box for the first couple episodes, but after a while he gets boring. Why is he there? Why do I care? What is her name? Delina?
Jolene? Jolena.
Darina?
Darina,
Oh.
there we go.
Close enough, guys.
Close enough.
Yeah, see, like I've watched this like 3 times now. I still don't know her name because I still don't care. She's all over the place.
Dry forehead. Just color that.
She's like, she has this like really vague revenge goal that just bounces all over the place.
She's just feisty.
She's there to do whatever the plot needs her to do on any given day. She's there to be an antagonist for somebody. She's there to like be somebody's Deus Ex Machina. Like, she's just there to be a blank slate that we can like plug in. We need drama in this section, so now she was a slave and so she has to rescue the slaves.
Yeah, they didn't have character goals. They just had one big, obvious show goal to make it happen. And I guess that's where it kind of it was a tall order given the universe they created, and it let them neglect the other things that made the first series so interesting, because there wasn't a big, well-defined overall goal other than to try to maintain the peace. But all these characters, and you just got into the characters, and the station was there just because to maintain the peace and give a place for diplomacy to occur. And so you were into it. Here they had a big show goal, but the characters didn't have any other than the show goal, and they ignored that a lot. So it
Yeah, I
was
mean, like
doomed.
there are things that the characters do in Crusades that I'm like, I feel like that should feel out of character, but I don't know what the character is.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it is out of character or not because I don't know who this person is.
Hmm.
Roman has Londo and Jakar action figures. I am so jealous.
Oh yeah.
Roman, you like to complain how old you are. Can you will them to me when you die?
So if anyone breaks into Roman's house and those figures are missing, I'm just gonna say now it wasn't me.
Hello, Raymond. Welcome. But yeah, we started with characters because so much of what's wrong with the plot is what's wrong with the characters. When the characters don't have a sense of direction, then the show never feels like it has a sense of direction. But the more I'm thinking about it with the stuff that you guys have pointed out, the more I think even if the characters were perfect, I kept thinking like if the characters had been better written, this show would have been so much better. But now I'm really wondering. What do you think? Thank you, Roman.
I think that this is just one of those situations where everything about the show is lacking. So, like, overall, I don't think any one specific thing is going to make a difference. The directing is weak, the writing is weak, the characters are weak, the music is weak, and it just all adds up. Like, even if one thing was a little better than it is, in the final product, it's nothing would still no one specific thing would save this show.
But overall plot would have been a big help, and I think it would have helped other things to come together better. It's harder. It's hard to bring things together if you're lacking, first of all, character goals and definitions and motivations, and if you're lacking overall plot purpose. I mean, and when I say plot purpose, I don't mean a set mission. I mean, that's what it all was. I mean, they abandoned everything else for just one set mission.
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's a mission that they stick to half of the time.
yeah.
I think the reason I put so much emphasis on how bad the characters were is that the characters made Babylon 5.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
I mean, I would have listened to Kasulas like read a dictionary. If he did
Same.
it if he did it in one of his like impassioned Jakar speech modes.
Yeah.
I would have listened to him and Londo fight over which way toilet paper is supposed to go on the roll.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They just, yes, the plot was great. Yes. I mean, you can definitely tell where it bumped in places because of, oh, we're going to cancel you. Nope, just kidding, we're not. Oops, our leading actress has a drinking problem.
Yeah, but the long story arcs kind of came organically. They may have been predefined in the writer's vision, but they came organically. Here, it's like we have an episode, well, a 2-hour special to say what the goal is. And then there's a goal, a mission, and that's it.
We have a
Well,
2-hour special to say what the goal is, and then we have to have a pilot to say what the goal is for all the people that didn't watch the 2-hour special.
Yeah.
But it's I really got hooked on the characters because they were not. I mean, you can't watch this and not compare it to Babylon 5 because it's a
Yeah.
spinoff and that's the nature of it.
Hmm.
Um, but I think even if the characters had been wonderful, there's just there's they wanted more Monster of the Week episodes so that people could come in at any point and not be lost, sort of like X-Files.
That's fine.
Um,
But they didn't do that.
No, you could have Monster of the Week, like basically modular episodes and stuff, as long as the characters are interesting and stuff, you know?
well, I was gonna say, but I don't feel like there was enough non-Monster of the Week episodes
Well,
to even justify.
even the Monster
Yeah.
of the Week episodes felt like it had been done before better on other shows.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the other problems with the show, if you're trying to look at it long term, um, like we were just saying, a lot of the episodes really don't even have to do with finding the cure. It just feels like a lot of like side episodes.
Yeah.
And I think what would have been a lot better is if when the show starts, like they are, like they're on top of things. They're searching every week, busting ass. And then as the season goes on, Gideon starts making, we're going to take a little sidestep here. We're going to check this out instead. Because I feel like JMS clearly took inspiration from Arthurian legend. The search for the Drakh cure is the search for the Holy Grail.
Hmm.
And with Gideon's
Hence
character,
Crusade and Excalibur, because he was not subtle about that at all.
oh yeah, not at all. I'm not saying anything. I don't have to read between the lines for that. But I also feel like with Gideon's character, you have a Moby Dick situation. He is Ahab in a lot of ways with his backstory. So what would have been way more interesting is to have the first half of the season be very, like they're very determined. They're searching. But then slowly Gideon starts kind of keeping to himself or taking them on side quests. And then you learn that, instead of searching for the cure, he's chasing his own personal white whale. So I think if you were going to have episodes that, kept
Or
away
Galen,
from...
or Galen would be even better, because he already started doing that.
Well, I think
Like,
you could even have it with both, where Galen's trying to steer the ship one way, Gideon's trying to steer the ship in his own way to, like I said, search for his own white whale.
Yeah.
And then you have the fact that Gideon also has the mystery box that's giving him information. And even in one of the episodes, I think the box specifically tells him not to trust Galen. So as the series goes on, you could, things kind of start to fall apart. And then you would have a lot more tension between characters, when earlier in the season things actually started off kind of, as they should have, and then things start to kind of crumble, and then you would have the hope that, like, will they get it together again by the end of the season or something like that. I just think as a beginning to end for season 1, that would have been a lot better.
I think trying to use Babylon 5 as a crutch was also a huge mistake.
Yes.
Because number one, you could just plain old do more if you were going, places and with races that you've never seen before. The Babylon 5 diehards were gonna watch it no matter what. But by leaning on the Babylon 5 crutch, you also made sure you were never going to get any new people.
Well, they had new people, a new cast, but I think what we needed was new territory. Getting out there beyond the known universe. Then you could do so much with what they encounter.
Right, but what I'm saying is that as far as viewers went,
New viewers.
You were never going to get a viewer that was not a Babylon 5 fan, because they're going to be like, oh, everybody's excited over this person showing up. I have no idea who they are. Franklin shows up and everyone's like, Dr. Franklin. And they're like, who's Dr. Franklin?
No, new viewers aren't there for Babylon 5, hence the term new viewer. So, yeah, anybody that's into Babylon 5 is probably going to support no matter what. You don't need to, unless there's lukewarm Babylon 5 watchers that you were looking for. But I don't think you aim for that. You look for new viewers as well as the people that already supported you in Babylon 5. So, yeah, I think they just needed to get out there, have these early episodes, maybe have a little bit of training wheels before you get out there with the Lockley and stuff, and then you get out there.
I still think that as much as I did not like him in Babylon 5, they should have ditched Lockley completely. And if you must have a crossover character, make it Franklin. Just make him the doctor on the ship. He has the experience going into unknown space. He has the alien virus experience. And he wasn't on Earth.
He would have made a fascinating love interest for Gideon.
Hey, now.
But like Sarah Chambers does nothing except try to be Franklin.
Yeah.
Actually, can't you see Franklin hooking up with the thief? That would be hysterical.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I want to watch her stab him at some point.
Sing jazz.
Yeah, if you're going to keep a character that can be on the ship, so that you can go out there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he should have just replaced the Doctor. If you had to have a crossover character, everything about his resume said that he should have been on that ship.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in uncharted space. It would have been perfect for Max. It would have explained the ship. It would have explained picking Gideon. It would have explained Galen's interest even. Technomages love new shit. Roman says, this is a shade of a shadow of the great series that was Babylon 5. It locked in all the areas that made the audience care about a show. I'm kind of curious about these, let's see, unfilmed episodes. 14, to the ends of the earth, the Excalibur gives chase to the ship that looks like the one that destroys Gideon's ship, the Cerberus. Many years ago, this episode would have seen the Excalibur crew return to using their black uniforms. Because that wouldn't have been confusing or anything. Value judgments. The appearance of Alfred Bester, now on the run following the Telepath War.
But it was a shadow ship. Why would that? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, we're not being consistent about anything else, so.
Unless they were going to say that it wasn't a shadow ship, it was like, the allies of the shadows, and
they took his stapler.
Yeah, that all coincidentally have the same looking technology.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they took his stapler and wouldn't give it back.
Yeah.
So Alfred Bester apparently got cut out of yet another show opportunity.
Well,
I mean, like, on the one hand, I almost want to see what they would have done with Bester in this show. But on the other hand, I'm happy he doesn't show up in this show.
Yeah, Koenig probably would have been really grumpy about doing it.
Hey, what are the very basic character arcs that we know about Dorina?
She's angsty.
Told us that she tells us over and over again, so that we'll know that they're true.
She's the last of her kind.
And
a thief.
Yeah.
And A
A
thief
slave?
and what?
A slave?
I'm a thief and a damn good one.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Episode 17 was going to be her graduating as a thief.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck off.
They have graduation.
But will her patron allow her to continue aboard the Excalibur?
That's stupid.
You mean that guy? That guy from Call to Arms? That's her patron?
I have no idea.
She has no use in the show except getting them into trouble. I mean, what?
She's an
They could have
NPC
cut
needed
her
to
out
unlock
of the
doors
show.
I mean,
occasionally.
I hate to have to say it, but like she's kind of just eye candy at this point.
She's there to go through tight spaces wearing a low-cut shirt.
Which she doesn't wear.
Yeah, well.
Allow me to say that would never, ever actually happen. Not that thieving and farming are the same, but there are very similar things about, like, there are times you just can't show cleavage because all you're going to do is get hay in there.
Hey now.
There is a joke about if a woman wears a turtleneck, 2 sweaters, a sweatshirt, and a jacket, how much hay will still end up in her bra? 16, Darkness of the Soul. The episode was going to be scripted when the series was canceled. 18, episode hadn't yet reached the scripting stage when the series was canceled. War Story. The first of a trilogy of loosely connected episodes that would have seen Darina disappear for a time after being captured by a huge, ethereal-looking ship and taken away.
Oh, wow.
The Walls of Hell, the second part of the planned Sword trilogy, apparently it has a name now, would have the sentence on this is really weird, would have been a very contained story, mostly featuring Gideon and Matheson in a room talking. That sounds exciting.
Oh wow.
Darina would still have been missing, and mention would have been made of trying to find her. Untitled script, number 21, the third and final episode of the planned Sword trilogy that would have seen Darina inexplicably return carrying a mysterious sword.
My goodness.
And then end of the line was going to be the end of the season, episode 22, the Excalibur finally tracks the hybrid's signal back to its home base and uncovers some shocking secrets about Earth Force, the Technomages, and their connection to the Shadows. This episode would have been the season finale, ending with a cliffhanger, leaving a question mark of whether Gideon is alive or dead. Except that JMS has already told us he's dead and in the Apocalypse box. So here's another, the whole, honest, there was a specific order and they just messed with it. Mm. He hadn't even scripted 2 episodes. And none of these were actually filmed.
No.
So I don't know how he can say, oh no, honest. Kind of disappointed that Stephen Furst was only going to do 1 episode. Each Night I Dream of Home is the only episode he was scheduled to direct. Mm. And I think it's one of the less shitty ones.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I've been trying to figure out if there's a director that is responsible for the worst directed episodes, but the writing is so bad it's very difficult to figure out how much is writing and how much is directing.
I do think it's a mix of both. I mean, we'll get into directing when we get into it. I think that's for next week or something like that. Or
I'm just kind of... Now.
But,
like it does sound like some of the more engaging ideas, at least, got left until much later, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah,
I would have been excited to see Bester back.
I understand wanting to build to things, but you got to make sure you have good stuff earlier on too to keep people interested
Yeah.
so that you can build to them. There should be no throwaway episodes. Yeah, modular,
But I mean,
fine, but throwaway, no.
they were gonna do nothing with Matheson for 15 episodes, and then like give him his own whole episode with Bester, and that was it.
It was probably going to have a
I
lot of
guess so.
flashbacks and stuff too. Like scans and exploring maybe his background more and things like that. Because if it's just him and Bester in a room, or was it Bester? Is this the episode where it was just going to be Matheson and I thought that was Gideon.
Yeah, but there's an episode too where episode 15, Bester shows up on the run and poses difficult decisions for Matheson.
Oh, okay.
So the
So
episode
yeah.
was going to revolve around him and Bester and Matheson.
Okay. All right. I transplanted the two and thought it was going to be all him and Bester in a room, but no, that was Gideon. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean the telepath thing is something that could definitely have been done earlier.
Oh, it really should have, because like I said last week, Matheson's only purpose is to be kind of a window to explore the telepath war and everything that happened with the Psi Corps. So then to have that episode wait till, what was it, episode 15
15,
is
and it's the
ridiculous.
only mention, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anything, that should have been like at or around like episode 7 or 8. Like, I don't think you should introduce Bester too soon, but you shouldn't wait that long. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then, Matheson doesn't really do much because of it.
Yeah, but that's another thing. Bringing Bester in, you can only do it one of two ways. Either Bester has some reason to be way out there exploring, or two, they came back to known territory again.
Almost this entire thing takes place in known territory.
Yeah, that's what I
I mean,
mean. But
possibly all of it.
that's the hard part with the mission that they gave themselves. I still think it's that mission
I
that
think,
just kind of hurt it so bad because
yeah,
you lock
I
yourself
think
in.
that's, I agree. I think that is part of why there's no sense of urgency. It's not like we have to go into unknown space and we're the only ship capable. There are constant mentions to, oh, we have an Earth presence on this planet that we're on. Rangers are doing jobs here, and we're not actually going anywhere outside the known space, the known map. So it's not like we're the only one. It's like we're one of like several thousand, and so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess the whole premise was just too hard to achieve well. Or I shouldn't say too hard, just maybe having one solitary mission that defines the show is not the right way to go.
except that they didn't have one. They have one stated mission that
Yeah,
they then ignore
I
half the
know.
time.
I know. All right, stated mission then.
And it's very weird because unless this is bullshit information I read on the internet somewhere, you know, finding the cure wasn't going to take 5 seasons. Obviously, it would have taken about 2, and then it would have moved on to other things. So I feel like they really just take their sweet ass time, and there's no sense of urgency, especially if, like I said, the cure would have been found around the end of season 2. It's not like, oh, it's solely this for 5 seasons and we really have to stretch it out. It's just, I don't know. There's no sense of urgency, and it's kind of laughable.
Mm.
Shit, if they'd buckled down, they could have gotten it done in a season.
Honestly, yeah. But instead, you have Gideon or Galen being like, "Hey, let's go to these wells of forever, so I could go, say goodbye to my love."
I got a
She
necklace
she
to
always
drop off.
wanted she always wanted to see this place.
I got a
Fuck your
necklace to
planet.
drop off.
Yeah.
Mhm. It was doomed from the start.
Was it salvageable at all?
Maybe with like a complete rewrite of premise and backstory and characters. Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, the premise with the other things, I mean, the premise would have been like, all right, you got to be bold. You got to, if we're going to stick to this concept of exploring for a cure, then you have to leave known space. And you have to, if you're going to bring any tie over characters with you, you got to include them and take them with you. You can't be just dancing around the same territory that we know among other people that are looking for it too. I mean, it just no, it doesn't. That doesn't work.
I agree, and I also think that there needed to be more emphasis on the personality of individual characters as it affected the plot, not just oh Galen is sad because he lost his girlfriend, but like what is Galen's sadness over losing his girlfriend have to do with why he's there? Is he looking for God? Like, you suggested like Gideon's trying to prove himself. Does that like lead to him doing stupid things? And if they were going to do it in 2 seasons that they found the cure, and we know that it ends with Gideon, getting trapped in the box, then tighten it up. You know, get it done in 1 season if that's all you've got for material. Um, and Gideon ends up in the box because he like sacrifices himself or something so that they can
Yeah.
get. I mean, can you imagine how nuts people would have gone even if they were only half on board? If you got an entire season where they get to the end, they get the goal, and then Gideon ends up like killed and trapped in the box, everyone would have come back for second season.
Well, yeah, but the thing is also they could have adapted this story. Just thinking about it now, they could have adapted the story to say if they dropped some sort of clue in a call to arms that the cure, or even if it wasn't in the call to arms, somewhere just drop the a clue that the cure might be somewhere in our known space, like some sort of lead that a certain planet or a certain race might know, and you just got to find them. So there's a reason to be going around known space.
Send him to Epsilon 3. Like use your suggestion there.
Yeah.
They go from there to Babylon 5. The Great Machine says, "Hey, check this out."
Mm-hmm.
The first the first references of the Drakh in the Great Machine are that they were a species that came out of nowhere from this area over here that
Mm-hmm.
uh, has never been explored.
Yeah, but it's not too far away. It just hasn't been explored because nobody thought anything of interest was there. Or they could come up with even better reason than that, but something.
I think they tried to play it too safe. They tried to lean too
Yeah.
much on
Member
traits,
berries.
member berries. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like I said, you look at the characters and you can see where they tried to fashion every character after someone who
Yeah.
was popular.
Yeah.
They were trying really hard to fashion, you know, plot points and patterns on things that were popular. I think they should have gotten the Eraser. Didn't you say that the guy who thought that he was King Arthur
Oh yeah,
in
Yeah.
Babylon 5, like that there was a
Michael York, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
that there
Michael
was a
York.
possibility he was going to be the captain?
Yeah. God, that would have been so much better.
I mean, did they have the budget for it? But
I mean, in case we wanted to hit the Arthurian legends thing on the head a little more hard.
should have been a try.
I mean, like, one of the other issues I feel like the season suffers from is that a lot of the exploration episodes feel really repetitive. And part of it has to do with like set building and stuff like that, so we could always get into that at another time. But
How many times do they search an abandoned city?
well
or
that's
planet?
yeah, well that's part of the problem. So as scientists and doctors on Earth are looking for a cure through modern medicine, the Excalibur is supposed to be searching dead planets and ruins under the assumption that one of these planets might have gone dead because they were hit with the same virus or something similar. So you get so many episodes where the crew is kind of just like meandering around, like really cheesy sets of ruins and crumbled, debris, and
And they all look like Narn.
they
They're-
do, and a lot of the sets, like it's almost giving like really cheap, like original series Star Trek vibes, where a lot of the sets look almost identical. Like we're on a completely different dead planet, but it looks exactly the same as the last one we were at, and the one after that.
Well, someone didn't like
Fireworks?
that idea. They decided to
Fireworks?
take out Eraserhead.
Drive by.
Interesting. Um,
I'm
Yeah.
alive.
Are you?
Take cover.
4th of July came early. It is Memorial Day, so somebody might be doing fireworks.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yes, happy Memorial Day to everyone that it so applies to.
Yep.
I always feel weird saying happy Memorial Day. That seems like such a weird,
Yeah.
it seems like such a weird clash.
It's the limitations of language. It's a hard
Well, the
thing
English
to say.
language anyway.
Have a
Yeah.
great Memorial Day.
Yes, that is a much better way to put it.
Have a
I'm going to
blessed
steal. I'm going to
Memorial
steal
Day.
that.
Yes, blessed.
Yeah, I think that they tried to make it too safe. They tried to make the plot too safe. They tried to make the characters too open. So, oh, well, people don't like Darina doing this thing. Well, we can just pivot her in a different direction kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they also made them interchangeable just in case somebody else turned out to have a drinking problem.
Mm.
But it's, yeah, it's hard to. Nothing was tight. Nothing was defined. It's not just that there weren't any goals. Like the writers didn't even seem to have any. Well, and writer singular. I think JMS did like all of them pretty much.
No, so some of the episodes were written by, I believe her name is Fiona Avery. I know she
Oh,
worked
yeah.
on B5, I think season 5. But her episodes aren't really written well either. Episode 3 with the humping jellyfish is her, and I don't think that's a good episode at all.
She also was responsible for River of Souls and Call to Arms. Probably the two worst TV movies.
Mm.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And it's weird because like I was saying before about B5, JMS wrote like 92 of the 110 episodes, but the episodes that weren't written by him were always written by other really competent writers. I believe some of the episodes were written by Scott Frost, who's the brother of Twin Peaks' Mark Frost.
Hmm.
And even I think DC Fontana wrote a handful of episodes for him. So even when he wasn't directly writing, he was still surrounded by other really good writers. And then you look at Crusade, and it's just him and Fiona, and neither of them are really doing great, in my opinion.
Um, yeah, I'm looking at so all of the Babylon 5 episodes that she wrote were in the 5th season, which was by far the weakest season. Um, and none of them are, I mean, there are a few individual episodes in season 5 that I think are okay. Um, but none of the ones she wrote are really great. Oh, except that she wrote Sleeping in Light.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least she got that right. I'll give it to her.
Yeah, that one is amazing. But like it's the only decent episode that she wrote. The rest of them are like The War with Centauri Prime, which is I think only good because Londo is amazing.
Mhm.
And then a couple of like the one where Jakar has to deal with everyone suddenly wanting to like worship him.
Oh,
Oh,
is
yeah.
that the what is truth and what is God episode?
Oh, it's the one where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go away for a while because you people are all crazy."
Yeah, the light. Searching for the light.
Yeah,
About the journey instead of the
because
goal.
I really really love that scene. It's one of my favorite
Mhm.
scenes in all of season
I
5, man.
I love that scene, but I will tell you right now, it is pretty much other than the very ending of the episode, it's the only thing in that episode I remember.
Oh yeah, me too.
And again, it's because Kasulis is amazing.
Yeah, anyway, Babylon 5. But that's the thing, like even the greatest Crusade episodes, I still don't think hold up to like season 5 of B5,
I
which
was
is its weakest
actually
season.
That was one of the reasons I asked which was the best episode because I was trying to decide. My next question, which we never did come up with an answer, but my next question was going to be what was the worst Babylon 5 season or a 5 episode? And is the best Crusade episode still worse than the worst Babylon 5 episode?
Including the ISN episodes.
See, there's not really a lot of Babylon 5 episodes I hate. Like you'll get your occasional filler or like that was unnecessary, but I've never like I can't really think offhand of many episodes I've walked away from going like what the fuck was that? It's more like, that was just there to stretch stuff out.
I don't hate them. I find them boring.
Yeah, yeah. For me,
Which to me is a greater sin.
yeah, the ISN episodes I felt is like, yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, if you want to do commentary, I mean, the commentary on the media was great, and some of the individual tactics they use there are great to talk about. But you can include them in a regular episode. It doesn't have to all be ISN is interviewing people on Babylon 5.
Well, I mean, there were only a couple of ISN episodes, and
Yeah,
I don't like them.
yeah,
But
two.
again, it's just I just find them boring and unnecessary. I
No,
mean,
but
most of the things that happen while they're doing the ISN stuff is important. I just didn't
yeah,
understand why they felt the need to frame it that way.
yeah.
The episode with the working guys.
Oh yeah,
We just
Bo and Mac.
yeah
Yeah, not necessary but fun, and they
yeah
did a
it
good
wasn't
job. Those
necessary, but
actors
I
did a good.
wasn't actively bored.
But yeah, those two guys were fun, Bo and Mac.
I may be one of the few people that doesn't really like All Alone in the Night. I find most of that episode unnecessary.
Well, I don't know. I think
But I don't
there's
hate it.
one. Yeah, there's ones that I dislike. I guess a little bit. I don't know that there's any that I dislike, but I just can't bring myself to watch the one about I mentioned it before. The child whose parents did not want him to get surgery. That one I just can't watch. I don't know. It's
Um,
something about it. It's not like offensive to me or anything like that. It's just like
it's a rough one to
you only
watch. I
you only
mean,
need to see it once. In other
it's
words,
it's a it's emotionally rough.
yeah.
But on the other hand, I really liked, back in the day when people didn't spoon feed us. Which was the correct answer.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, It's just I can't watch it again. Once is enough.
All right. Well, now that the answer to, the plot has been, now there wasn't really a plot. There were
There was a
stated,
mission, kind of.
well, there were stated, this is going to be our plot, which was then mostly ignored. So,
Yeah.
next week we are talking about location and setting.
Yay.
A little more interesting than Babylon 5, actually, because it's not all in one place.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I'll
we
have a
can-
great night.
Mhm.
So with 2 minutes left to spare, Jacob, what's going on in your world?
My world. Tomorrow night on my show, I'll be going over A Bridge Too Far. And then on
nice.
Roman of the Empire show on Thursday, I'll be going over the movie Chud.
Well, that's right.
Nice.
That was postponed, wasn't it?
Yes, that was postponed, so we'll be able to go over that.
All right.
Hey, if you could just, the memes are the best part of it, so check that out.
Especially the fact that Roman can be superimposed into any picture and fit properly,
Yes, exactly. His face goes on anybody's.
male or female.
Yeah,
Though Sammy makes a better woman.
yeah. Somebody does.
Wayfarer.
Yeah, well, just for those who don't know, the channel is called the Wayfarer Project, and on Wednesday we did the part 1 of our 4-parter on Excalibur, and we're comparing it to other Arthurian tellings of the story, except for Crusade is not included in the comparisons, but maybe some Babylon 5 clips. But what else? And then Sunday we are going ahead with our Babylon 5 journey. And that's all I want to say, because I actually forget the name of the episode that we're doing next. But it's the one with the Lumati. The
I was
Lumati,
going to ask what was up that week, but
the survival of the fittest people that also really, the guy that really wanted to get with Ivanova.
oh yeah.
And that's the B plot.
Next time we do it our way.
Yeah, and that's the B plot. But yeah, that's what we were doing. Now, this all Wednesday hinges upon me not getting selected for a jury tomorrow. I have jury duty. So as long as I don't get picked, I think I should be good for Wednesday.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Razorhead. Anything you want to plug?
Not really, man. I don't have a channel. I don't know what I'm doing here. We just managed to talk about a non-existent plot for 2 hours, but I'll be back next week, man. Same goat time, same goat channel.
Because there are so many goat channels.
Settings. That's cool.
All right. And last but not least, I am the Eclectic Goat. For anyone who somehow has wandered here and doesn't know that.
Wait, you're not the electric goat? What?
Haha. I am not doing a whole lot on this channel until next Monday. I had to stop and remember what day it was there for a second. However, I am going to be doing off and on some fill-in videos on Postmortem Video. The first one is going to be on editing if you can't afford an editor. Somebody else who hasn't watched Babylon 5. Man, it's really too bad that we can't show it, because it would be so awesome to just have a watch along with all the people that have never seen it before.
I guess technically you can on Rumble with commentary and all that, but I don't want to take the risk, because one of these days there's probably going to be a deal between Rumble and some studios, and then that will go away and you'll have to delete everything.
Right.
Well, and Rumble Studios hates me and will not let me make an account. So.
Oh, okay.
It's a long involved story. But anyway, so Grim Jim, friend of the channel, has postmortem video. He is going to have to be taking a little time off here and there for various other also medical issues that's going around. And so I'm going to be doing some fill-in videos for him in that period of time to try and help things stay afloat for him. So I will link when I do so. Hopefully you guys can pop over and see what I do when I'm not goating over here. And yeah, that is pretty much it until next Monday. At least, unless I get feeling really ambitious. But it's gardening season and I got baby goats to feed and mama to milk. So things are busy. I want to thank my panel for being here. I want to thank everyone in the chat for having been here, especially the lurkers I didn't get to say hello to earlier, Molly and Northman. And I hope that we will see you back here next Monday. And unless anybody's got something else to say, that'll be a happy headbutting.
Don't watch this show.
It's a fucking good.
Eclectic Goats got videos of indie authors and cinema love. A passion for the weird and the strange. She's snappily dressed and only slightly deranged. Come and meet the eclectic goat, lover of classics and whiskey notes, disciple of horror and the written word. Happy head hunting, come join the herd. Shows might be a little improper. We've got real zombie, fake whizzes the otter, pizza in one hoof, glass in the other, deciding which role-playing games we will cover. Come and meet the eclectic goat, lover of classics and whiskey notes, disciple of horror and the written word. Happy headbutting, come join the herd. Got a thing for black and white screens, crappy horror with low budget scenes. Choose on the history, spits out the law. Time for another whiskey pour. Come and meet the eclectic goat, lover of classics and whiskey notes, disciple of horror and the written word. Happy headbutting, come join